about temperature, the first thing that will appear in our mind is thermometer. We both agree if all of you know or have this stuff at your home. This thing is important for checking the temperature. The first time it was invented, the aim was measuring particular liquid materials and only used by scientists in the laboratory. With the times, there are a lot of types of thermometers with their own specific ability to measure. We can check body, things, materials, or even some particle area by using a thermometer. The modern one can display three different types of temperature scales. There are Celsius, Fahrenheit, and Kelvin. Celsius is widely used in Asia and Canada, but Fahrenheit is widely used in America, Australia, and Europe. Meanwhile, the Kelvin scale is widely used by scientists in their projects. In the present, the analog thermometer is filled with mercury and can measure a temperature because of the liquid inside of it. When it's warm or hot, the material will expand. When it's cool, the material will contract. In other parts, we agree, if not all of us know the story behind the stuff that we use when we are sick for checking the temperature. The invention of this item has a very long story.
All of the stories began from the earlier thermometer. It was called a thermoscope. A thermoscope basically has the same function as a thermometer. However, the thermometer has a scale on it, but the thermoscope doesn't have it. A thermoscope was only able to know if the material is getting hotter. In this area, we can call it the era before the scale of temperature. The first thermoscope was invented by Galileo Galilei in 1593. It was called the Galileo thermometer. It was made of a sealed glass cylinder containing water and also 5 different colors of bubbles. Each bubble had a tag that displays the degree of it. The idea of this thermoscope was in the air outside the thermoscope changes, the same dose of water temperature surrounding the bubbles will change. We can know the temperature by looking at which bubble sank the most. Nowadays, we are not using it anymore because the measure and scale of it are not accurate. Therefore, we can see it as decoration in various places. After the invention from Galileo, Santoso in 1612 made the first thermometer with the scale on it. His invention had an intention in the medical sector. It was used for checking patients' temperature by putting it on their mouth. Almost 42 years after Santoso's thermometer, the first enclosed liquid thermometer was invented in 1654. It was invented by the Grand Duke of Tuscany, Ferdinand II. The alcohol used as the liquid. Unfortunately, Santoso nor Ferdinand II's invention were not very accurate and able to use worldwide.
The era of using measurable and accurate thermometers began in 1714. The first modern thermometer that used mercury-Weston rise scale was invented in the year of 1714 by a German physicist named Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit. He introduced the standard temperature scale that used his name, Fahrenheit. The Fahrenheit scale was very accurate at measuring temperature and was used to record changes in temperature accurately. The Fahrenheit used freezing and boiling points of water by dividing it. The scale of 32 degrees of Fahrenheit was the freezing one, and 212 degrees of Fahrenheit was the boiling one. Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit used the human body temperature as the base of his temperature scale, but now the human body temperature has been confirmed to be 78.6 degrees
In the year
of Fahrenheit.
1742, the Celsius scale was invented by Anders Celsius. The Celsius scale also uses freezing and boiling points. 0 degrees Celsius is the freezing point and 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling one. The Celsius temperature was officially announced as the International Unit of Temperatures in 1948 by an international conference on weights and measures. In 1848, Lord Kelvin invented the Kelvin scale. Kelvin developed the idea of absolute temperature called the second law of thermodynamics. and he developed the dynamical theory of heat. In 1967 or 1968, the unit was renamed from degree Kelvin to the symbol degree Kelvin.
After that, many manufacturers upgrade the old model thermometer to the digital one. However, the analog thermometer still exists until now. Even though the model has been changed, the scales still have been used in all new models. With certainly, the new models are easier to understand and more accurate.